Welcome.
Nice. Today's March.
Test.
Nice. Today's March 14th, 2017. It's a Tuesday. You're stuck in town. The weather.
Indeed. Yep. Just like we hypothesized and or predicted, the weather has conspired to keep me in Chicago for another day.
And this way we can do the podcast face-to-face in
Face
Chicago,
to face. Yeah.
in the kitchen.
That's a good part.
And the audio sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I think so. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Phone's ringing off the hooks.
Like that it does all the time with people sending us information and tips all the time. We'll just have to let that tip go.
Dang.
Well, we had some this morning, which we're going to get to in a minute.
All right.
Now, I have a new thing. I was going to say, let's do a final bracket, like our picks for the NCAA. And what did you say?
Yeah, let's do that. But
You said nobody cares.
nobody cares about brackets. I mean,
They do, but they don't.
Yeah, you do only because you're going to throw $20. 99 out of 100 people are going to lose the $20, and one guy's or gal's going to win.
Or you could put $1 billion up like Warren Buffett and say, if you pick a perfect one, we'll get...
if you pick a perfect bracket, I'll pay $1 billion.
Yeah, he throws a little insurance money at that. It's like literally impossible. And I said, you know what? I don't even care. It's like looking at a class photo. You go look for your own picture in the photo, and then you don't care about the rest of the kids in the class.
That's true.
Okay, so I just said, why don't we do a Final Four?
All right, Final Four, but not a bracket for
and not
basketball.
Yeah,
Right.
we're just going to do Final Four, and I picked two things, and you picked two things.
Okay.
And then we're going to have a winner.
See which one trumps,
okay,
so to speak.
So to speak. Okay, so my two things are...
All you haters out there, don't hate on us.
Okay, so my two picks are Cherry Blossoms and Trump.
So you did go there.
On your side, what are your last two final? This is Final Four.
Crude oil, and in particular because it's down so hard in the last 4 sessions, and Fed raising interest rates tomorrow.
So that's the Final Four.
That's my final two, and your final two are Cherry Blossoms and Trump.
I'm going to tell you how my games are going to go to get to the finals.
Let's hear it.
Cherry Blossoms, as you know, in Washington might be not happening.
And in Japan, too.
Which I'm going to.
Yep.
But they don't have this weather problem like we do here in the United States. If the cherry blossoms go down below 20 degrees, they're not going to get them in D.C.
Oh.
I was walking in the snow today, and I thought to myself, there's got to be a way we can blame this on Trump.
Sure.
Okay, because of EPA, whatever. I mean, I can just go to the extreme, because it's the first time it might not ever happen in D.C. And Trump's the only thing that's different now than there was in the last
So it's his fault.
100 years since Taft's wife, I think, put them in. I think it was Taft's wife. Who's going to win there, Trump or the cherry trees?
Trump.
You think Trump? Yeah, because the cherry trees will come out. So
Yeah, because the cherry trees will come out.
So my
cherry
Final Four,
blossoms lose,
Trump goes
wins.
on to the final round. Now you're
Crude oil falling. Demand is so strong that I'm going to say, Andrew, that we're coming up on a 3-year bottom. When you look at the long-term chart, a 3-year chart of crude oil 47's right around that. Doesn't mean we haven't been below it. We all know we have. We broke 30. However, when you look at the moving averages and so forth, 47's a pretty critical area. We did get below that. We got into the 44 range last summer. But again, longer term, when you smooth it out, 47. So I'm saying crude loses and Fed raising interest rates wins.
Okay, so then the final game will be against Fed versus Trump.
Fed versus
because Trump beat cherry blossoms.
Uh-huh.
So it's Trump versus...
And the Fed beat crude oil.
Okay. I've always said,
Mm-hmm.
now you could disagree with me on this,
Okay.
that the only thing that really can stop Trump or really just put a wrench in that monkey wheel
Yep.
is the Fed. Because they don't give a shit. They're just going to say, we're raising rates. I mean, whether there's been inflation the last 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, which they didn't raise rates.
Right.
Okay, John. John pulled out the plug. But
Bang.
But we're not starting over. So, okay, we were at the Final Four. Okay,
Trump and Fed raising rates.
Okay. Who do you think's going to win?
I think Trump wins because I think reg rollback, tax cuts, and infrastructure spend, I think trump the Fed raising interest rates. So I think
They're going to raise.
They're going to raise rates, but I think that trumps rising interest rates.
So does Trump come out a winner?
Yeah.
Oh, so they both win. Oh, this is perfect then.
Yeah. It's
So
like the perfect storm.
Everybody wins. It's like a soccer game.
That's a soccer game.
Well, everybody wins in a soccer game, man.
Oh, you're talking about kids.
And real, I think. You know, you watch the game and it's like comes like a penalty shots. It's God. I don't know, people lose their lives over soccer anyway. And I didn't want to go there. All right, so there's our final four into the
final four into the final two, and Trump wins. So post the hate. Go ahead.
All right, so
I know we're going to get hate for that.
That's okay. I bought some AAL today. I jumped in.
Like it.
A little bit more it's my third position.
Well, you saw the unusual activity in Delta, too.
Yeah, Pete had that on.
50-55 call spread, bought big, out in June, I think. I like the trade, and it plays into what we started the show with, falling crude oil prices. That means lower input for airlines. Ultimately, that's good.
So I'm a big owner of AAL now. And on the show, you had WFT. I pulled my order out on that.
Did you?
And I mean, it's $6.
I can't blame you. I mean, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Here's what happened, folks. Somebody bought 25,000 Weatherford April 6 calls with the stock at $5.95. So are they going to be right? They bought them from 40 cents up to 54 cents. Are they going to be right? Maybe. If you're wrong and you buy them at, say, 48 cents and they go to 24, cut your losses. However, you got a lot of time, and if crude does bounce here, I think Weatherford does really well really fast.
I might address it later.
All right.
I did pull the trigger, but I just unpulled the trigger on that, which you can do. The other one is DLDH.
DLPH, Delphi.
Delphi, PH.
Yep. They're the GM parts company, right? Like Mopar for, Chrysler products. You got Delphi for GM. Who's the Ford arm? Because each of them, folks, as you probably recall, had their own arm of auto parts that fed in. And these days, very few of the automakers do anything but assemble the car. The windshields are somebody else. The gauges are somebody else. The wheels, the drivetrains. I mean, so anyway, DLPH does a lot of what goes into these cars. I think it's like a play on Mobileye, too, with what happened yesterday, Andrew, with the automotive sector getting a lot of love when Intel stepped up. That's why I'm in.
Hey, it's speaking of getting run over by cars.
Huh. Okay.
Since we're talking, I'm only kidding. But actually, I'm not. Ackman got run over by the VR.
$3 billion loss.
Yeah, and our friend was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney?
Yeah, Courtney Ratcliffe Gibson.
Yeah, she said.
Lovely lady.
He's a sharp.
Loop Capital.
He's a sharp investor.
Yeah, he is.
No,
he's made more money for clients than he's lost. Let's put it that way.
I know, $3 billion, man.
All right, but he's made,
That's not like losing 95% on a $1,000 option.
I know. It's and that's where, again, I'm not bashing Ackman, but I'm saying, and I'm not saying I would have traded it better, but I know this much, I wouldn't have lost 95% because I would have had a put snugged up under there someplace.
Something. That's a big bet not to have hedges.
Yeah. When you're him and you're looking to make 30, 40, 50%, even 100% on a stock holding, God, why not spend, 5% on a just out of the money put a year out and say, you know what? Not going to get wiped out if things go bad.
So you're not doing any VRX?
Nothing. Have no position in VRX.
Remember he did that?
And again, not an Ackman hater. I think he's a great trader. I just wish he would have had some defined risk in his trades rather than just open-ended.
Everybody was hating on HLF.
Yep.
And then everybody jumped in and bought it.
Yep, because they knew he was shorted and they knew he'd have to cover.
So do you think now that he's out of it?
He's not out of HLF, is he?
No.
Is he out of Herbal?
I'm talking about VRX.
Oh, VRX.
Opportunities there.
Everybody, it's like you said, hedge fund hotel. Yeah. That was a hedge fund hotel. They were all kind of hiding out in there because it was big and liquid and blah, blah, blah. Well, Yeah, I think a lot of people that followed him in there are the ones that are the carry-on sellers now. It's probably getting close. A day or two, I think it's a buy.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind.
Below 10 probably.
All right. Well, that's it.
Remember, you can subscribe through iTunes or YouTube and give us some love. Tell a friend.
Welcome.